Here we are for day 20 of our 21-day Goal Diggers training, which I think has been a huge success. I think there's a lot of people that have, had some light bulbs go off, and like we just said, yesterday was a huge day because we had the first 3-star qualified coach, Lindsay McGuire, get her 3-star qualification yesterday, which is just an absolutely wonderful achievement. And she's been leading the way and showing her team how to duplicate with the system. So congratulations, Lindsay. That's incredible, and way to do it. That's a great example. This morning, we are going to be talking about no excuses and the dip. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mike Panko to talk about no excuses. First, let me just say that when we say no excuses, I want to make clear that everybody has different goals in this business. And, sometimes we think that everybody wants to make $100,000, and that's not always the case. And, everybody has their own goals, is my point. And we want to really, be separating out when we say no excuses. That's really for people who are very, very serious about making a significant income, making this their full-time living, so that they don't have to leave their families or whatever. But, and not everybody is in that, position. I know that. So I'm going to let Mike Panko, who is a diamond coach of mine, he runs his business with his wife, Natalie. And I met Mike actually about, probably about three or so years ago online. And he was just friends of our kids. And I noticed this young guy who was always posting real mature stuff. And he was just ahead of his game. And I friended him and started talking to him and messaged him. And turns out he was involved in another business. And so he was doing things that other people weren't already at about, 26, 27 years old. And then I ended up meeting him, and he lives right here locally. I ended up meeting him at a live event, Les Brown training session about, what was that, Mike, a year and a half ago? Something like that.
Yep.
And, after knowing him on Facebook for a couple of years and then meeting him at a live event, it turned out he was going to the Les Brown event, and we got to know each other. And a couple weeks later, we sat down and he decided that, hey, Shakeology looks good. I'm in this business. I'm in the network marketing business already. Mike was already successful in another business. And he decided to make the switch over to Beachbody. So, the fact is, you never know. And he liked what we had to offer. He liked our system, and he jumped right in and took advantage of our system and earned his diamond. And so he and Natalie run this business together. So you'll often see that stuff interchangeably too. But Mike Panko is the one that's really running the actual business and does most of it. So I'm going to let my friend Mike Panko take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. It's been an amazing experience being a part of the team and also this training. So thanks to everyone, all the leaders that have, continuously poured themselves into this training. It's so appreciated. I've done so much in increasing my business. And Lindsay, once again, major props to you. That's such an awesome accomplishment. I knew as soon as I met Lindsay McGuire that she was such a sharp individual that, she's going to the top of this network. So with that said, when you see people, and you meet people and you know that they're sharp, you know that they have got it going on, you want to, link up with them, connect with them, get them on your Facebook, get them in your contacts, and start to build a rapport so that you can have people like Lindsay McGuire in your business. So like Joe said, we're going to be talking about no excuses this morning. And as we all know, we're all busy. We all have stuff. And I'm going to use the corny little expression that we say, I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you. You know, my wife and I, we both work full time. We have a 10-month-old baby. I have a very big position in my family's company of a couple hundred employees. We have 35 acres. We have 5 horses, blah, 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 blah. We have lots of excuses why we don't have the time to do this business. And quite frankly, we have a lot of excuses why we don't need to do this business. But people like me and Natalie, like Joe and Tina, like so many of you on the phone, a lot of people want to build more. You know, also we can't discriminate on, oh, this person might not want to build because they don't need a business like this. A lot of times people don't need it, but they want it, you know. I don't necessarily like being having the ball and chain around my ankle, having to go to work every day 8 to 5, you know, not having the time freedom to do stuff. So that's why we love doing this type of business, so we can create that time freedom. So another thing that we have to evaluate with excuses, and time I think is a really big excuse in this business. And Tina and I were talking several months ago, or a couple months ago, time kind of flies, and you have to evaluate the different activities that we do in our life. Like I mentioned, we have horses, so I found myself shoveling horse shit, sorry for the French, instead of building my business. So at a lot of these trainings, we talk about, you know, what are your goals? Do you have a $500 an hour mentality? You know, and I'm out there shoveling horse doo-doo, which is a $10 an hour activity. So Natalie and I have got some people, a young girl in the area that wanted to make some extra money, and she's taking care of the horses now. So that frees up more time for me to be able to build my business. And kind of the point of all that is, you know, we have to, we all have the same number of hours in a day. So some people are definitely busier than others. Grant Cardone talks about, it's just about how we organize those 24 hours. And I was actually watching a video that Joe put on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about, you know, does a CEO that makes, you know, X 100% more than a regular employee, does he really do that much more work than a regular employee? No, it's just he's put in the work, he or she has put in the work, and that's just the way it goes. So also, as Joe mentioned, I have been a part of another networking organization, and there was no training. There was absolutely no training. So we never have the excuse with Team Aspire that we don't have enough training, because I've seen different companies, organizations, teams, all that kind of stuff throughout the industry over the years, over the last 7 years. And Team Aspire has got it going on. Joe and Tina, you all know this, but I'm just kind of reinforcing it. They're the top of the top. I have never seen or experienced, even in the corporate world, training like we get. I mean, this stuff is gold. You know, it's just amazing. So in my old company, it was just like, all right, invite all your friends over and tell them all about it, and, you know, we'll see what happens. It's like, I was like, okay. So you just kind of find yourself figuring it out on your own. And with this team and this leadership, it's just all the pieces of the puzzle are there. It's just doing it and putting them together, right? So, of course, the more action that you take, the more success you're going to have, that we're going to have, and the faster that we're going to reach our goals. Joe always talks about, you know, if you do 3 invites a day versus 30 invites a day, 10xing it, you're going to get a lot of different results. You're going to get faster results. You're going to get those yeses quicker, and you're going to get to that 4-star diamond to leapfrog Lindsay quicker.
She won't mind. I know that about Lindsay. She won't mind. She knows room for success for everyone.
So, my grandfather is a great inspiration to me. He'll be 91 years old in August. He still works every single day in our business. And he's a phenom. And he called me up on the phone the other day, and he's never done any of these personal development things or training courses, nothing like that. All this stuff just kind of comes naturally to him, or he's developed it through experience. So it's really, it blows my mind. So he calls me up and he says, Mike, the more you work and the harder you work, the faster you'll have success. And if you can find a way to work even harder than you think you can, you'll do even better. And I'm just like, who is this guy? And but it's the truth. We just have to, organize our time, set aside the excuses, get rid of the activities that are not adding value to our goals and to our life, and, bust our butts a little bit. It is a little bit more of a grind in the beginning. It's the 80-20 rule. And then, it gets easier as you go. And then it all comes down to our why. Our why is the biggest determining factor for both why we continue to build our business or why someone would get into our business to create all these great things that we achieve. So and it's just all about finding the right why. And honestly, I've always heard this being in the industry, but it took me about 4 or 5 years to actually really figure out what my real why was that made you tear up a little bit. You hear the saying, your why should make you cry. And I was always like, what's this stuff? But when I really figured it out, it was like, whoa, they're right, So why do we do this business? The career that we create in this, it's absolutely mind-blowing. The time freedom, the financial freedom, the lives that we will touch. Imagine all these thousands and thousands of people that Joe and Tina have impacted just by saying yes to taking a look at an opportunity or deciding to share it with people. All these phenomenal people, 20, 30 plus people, true leaders that we've been able to spend the last 20 days with at 6 a.m. in the morning. I mean, top-notch, sharp, phenomenal people. I mean, it's an amazing thing. Places we'll see, all the different trips that we go on, personal development, Les Brown type trainings, the GoPro coming up, Nashville. I mean, it's an opportunity to see the world. It's amazing. And then, from the more contributional standpoint, causes that people can contribute to. And the biggest thing is personal development. The person that you become as a result of all this stuff that we've been talking about, the trainings, the early mornings or the late nights or the putting in extra time, we have an opportunity to improve ourselves and show the world that we have a better way. So all these things put together are just a couple tips and ideas that I have on no excuses and putting your why first and what you want to do for your family and other people. And let's do this thing. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Joe, and he is going to be talking about the dip.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. And, it's great. It's wonderful to work with you. I knew from the first time talking to you that you had something special in you. And it's funny because talking and getting to know Mike, I know that he has a secure position at his company business, his family business, but Mike has a bigger reason. And, he's willing to put in this extra work, even though he doesn't have to, because he has that special why of what he really wants to do. In other words, he knows he can be here, but he wants to be here so he can do that extra contribution to society and to his legacy and everything else by putting in the extra work. I would like everyone to take out a sheet of paper and draw this. See this? Can you see that? That's the dip. I want you to think of yourself as being right here, and then you're going to go down this hill before you come back up. All right? I read a book called Seth Godin. It was by Seth Godin, called The Dip, almost 5 years ago now, because it was one of the first books I read, and it really opened up my eyes. And I highly recommend it for everyone. Great PD book, and I've been teaching about it ever since. And it really has to do with the things in life that prevent us from achieving our goals. And you remember during the first week, we wrote down those activities that we were doing, the time when we were prioritizing our time. So, if your priorities are your family, and of course your job right now, what are those other activities that we're doing that aren't contributing to your reason for why you go to work? You know what I mean? Your family and everything else. So when Tina and I started out in the business, I learned about the dip, and I just found it because somebody mentioned Seth Godin, but they didn't mention the dip, and I found the dip. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna check that out. And I read it, and he says in the dip, that the dip is actually that point where you get so excited to start something. You're so excited. You're up here on the top of the hill, like you're a skier getting ready to go down. You've got this all excitement. So then you lean in, but then you realize, oh my God, I'm going down this hill and I'm going fast and I could fall on my butt. Well, the fact is, when we join our business, the first 24, 48 hours are the key to getting to a new coach and getting them started right. Because, why? Because they're most excited. But then they get going down the hill in their first 30 days, and what happens if you don't know how to ski? You fall on your butt, right? You fall on your butt and you struggle, and all of a sudden you're not so excited because you're getting hurt. People are telling you no, they're rejecting you, and that's what happens in our business. And if you're not prepared for it, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know that that's naturally part of it because you haven't learned the skills, then that will cause a lot of people to just quit. And here's the thing about the dip. The dip, this is a period of time. This could be 30 days in our business just to learn the basics, or 60 days, but it also could be 2 years, 5 years. And what that means is this. If you think about, if this graph represents the amount of income people make, this part, so where you go up on this is the amount of income this makes, and this represents time, the longer you stay in the dip and the longer you're willing to struggle, the more income you're going to be making. Now, I would like people on this call to type in or write in the group. I started off the call by saying, about no excuses. This is for, when we say no excuses, I want people to really understand their why. Their why has to make you cry, and maybe some people's why isn't there yet. Maybe you just don't quite know what it is that you want or why you're doing this business. And then that's okay. I would like people to know that we have preferred customers or discount coaches. We have people who are here for a hobby. We have people who are here to make a significant income, who want to help a lot more people. And those people are typically the people that have such a strong why that they're actually, maybe you're trying to avoid something like me, right? I had such a strong why. My why was I got killed in corporate America. I was so sick and tired of it that I swore I would never go back again, right? I mean, that was my why. So what is driving me in this business is I would rather work my butt off on my own rather than go work for somebody else and have them tell me what to do. And then when I do it, have them mistreat me, okay? Because that's what happened to me. I got so mistreated. I was the #1 producer, and all of a sudden they decided to yank my bonus away. I mean, guys, you reached the level that I was at, and you're making six figures, well into six figures, and then they take away one morning they take away from you life-changing $250,000 to $350,000, like you won the lottery, and all of a sudden they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, the ticket's invalid," but you did all that work, and on top of that, I lost all my savings. I lost our stock, our options, our stock, our restricted stock, our 401k. Our condo was plummeting in value all the time at the time. And I sat there at 40 years old going, why am I giving up my life for everybody else? Why am I doing this if I just lost, my life savings at 40 years old, and I feel like a heel to my family? I am never doing that again. It was the worst thing, slumping in my wife's arms and telling her, because she didn't get involved with the finances, but I had to tell her I lost everything. I did what I thought was right, and I lost everything. And it's because they changed the rules on me. So I swore I would never work for somebody else again. So it's that pain that I want to avoid. There's so much pain in me that I want to avoid, that I'm willing to do whatever. I'm willing to rearrange my life. And when I did that, we decided to sell things. We decided to downsize our house. And, if you're not there, if you don't have that true reason why you want to stay home with your kids instead of going to work every day, if you're not there that you want to build something with your husband, or if you guys want to go live on the beach and screw all the stress in the world and not worry about bills, if you are there that you are okay with just helping people and doing it at your convenience, that's a hobby coach, right? Do it at your convenience then. It's okay. I want you to know it's okay. I want you to truly know it's okay, because you're still helping people. But you may not be at that level that I'm at, or Tina's at, of the pain that we suffered, and know why we want to do what we want to do, and why we need to make a six-figure business, a seven-figure business out of this. And the no excuse mentality is there for those people who truly want that. Now, you guys are getting up at 6 a.m. for 20 days in a row. You want something. There's some reason why you're here. I don't know what that is, but when you think about like the dip is this sloth. It's that period of time that you go through a struggle. But here's the deal. That struggle is actually a shortcut. And it's a shortcut to something bigger in life. And we go through this, and when we join as coaches, we don't know what we're doing. And we most coaches don't want to go through the struggle because they think they can just go in there and money's going to rain down on them and people are going to say yes, but they're not willing to do the personal development. They're not willing to watch the seminars. They're not willing to put in the hours per day. They want to do it at their convenience as opposed to digging in, because they're not really serious about getting from point A to point Z. They really are just wanting to get from point A to point B, right? And that's okay. If you're telling your coach though that you want that you want to retire from your job and you want to make $500,000 a year. And you know what? Most people have said something like that on our calls. You know, I want to make 100,000. I want to make 500,000. I want to make $1 million. Do you really want to? Do you really want to? Because that's when the no excuses comes up. That's when then you realize the dip. There are a few types of dips. There's the dip, which hurts, is a struggle, and represents that time when you're learning everything. You know, the dip would be things like when you're decide that you're going to go to, you want to be a lawyer, so you got to go to law school for how many years? You know, 8 years, 6 years, I don't even know, but thousands and thousands of hours of training, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you got to go to law school. But again, what happens? You go from being a student making no money to a lawyer and eventually a partner making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. The average person makes about $35,000. The average family income is $50,000. Okay, so the average NFL player makes $3 million. What did the average NFL player do that the others don't? They practice every day for years. They lifted weights every day for years. They developed their talents for years. They became so rare that nobody else was willing to go through that system every day, waking up before school when they're 10 years old and getting practice in, and after school getting practice in. You know, you've heard about all the athletes, and they're willing to go through that. And then they got to fight through the injuries. There's a few that don't get injured along the way. They make it through high school ball without getting injured. They make it through college without getting injured. There's fewer and fewer people that make it to college level. There's fewer people that make it to Division I. There's fewer people that make it to bowl games. Guess who makes it to the NFL? Those few people who are willing to sacrifice everything. They sacrifice everything. And that's why they get paid $3 million. And this is the fact is, we have something here, and you know, most people don't believe that they have something that can turn them from ordinary to extraordinary. Most people come into network marketing and they're making that $30,000 to $50,000, and they only believe they can pay for their shake. They only believe that they can, you know, make a couple $100 a month. They're not willing to go through the dip. They're not willing to go through the daily struggles of getting up. You know, I don't want to say Tina and I, but again, you guys didn't know what Tina and I went through. You know, you weren't here. Nobody else was here. They don't know that we said, okay, forget this. We're not going out to eat anymore. We're going to start saving that money. We're going to get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. We're going to read. We're going to be up at 11 p.m. We're going to be doing our things. We're going to be chasing everybody down no matter how bad we were when we did it. And we're going to learn how to do it right. They don't know how many thousands and thousands of no's we got. And it's because our why was so hard, so big. We knew we had to go through this struggle, and we knew it was going to get better, and we knew that whatever it took for me to stay out of corporate America, I was going to do. And you know, that there's the dip represents that period where you're struggling, but you can make it over to the other side. And those few people who make it over to the other side are going to be contributing significantly to society. They are going to be making. Did you ever think that? Did Lindsay Matway ever think when she started as a bankrupt bartender at 26 years old, her daughter had brain bleed, her life was a mess, she was bankrupt? Did she ever think that she could be making $2 to $3 million a year? No, her family was completely broke. Do you know what Lindsay does right now when she writes $10,000 checks, $50,000 checks to charity? One of our things is we want to write a $100,000 check to our favorite charity. How many people would like to do that? How many people would like to be so full that they don't even, it's not even about the struggle anymore. It's like, how do I contribute to more things? How do I help more people? And you increase your value. And you do this through struggling through things every day, but you got to be willing to give up those. The curve is the dip. There's other types of curves, but one type of curve is a cul-de-sac. Everybody knows what a cul-de-sac is, right? You drive around what is it really? It's a dead end. A dead end. You drive around and all of a sudden you're back to where you started. That is basically what a job is. It's a dead end. When you look at a job, a typical job, it's going to give you a 3% raise per year, whatever, and you're going to go around for 45 years, this cul-de-sac. And is there really an opportunity for the average person to go from $40,000 a year to $4 million a year, or $600,000 a year, $300,000 a year, to be able to, provide their family the better education, live in a nicer home, give more to their church, do any of these things? Does that exist if you're not involved, without risking a ton of money opening a business, inventing something, getting a specialized education where you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars? Does that exist anywhere? We got to get off the cul-de-sac activities of life. This is where the no excuses come in. The cul-de-sac activities of life are the things that we wrote down on our list, the activities that don't pay off. They don't lead to anywhere. You're taking time and you're going to, we're going to dinners, we're doing things that, don't contribute to our personal development, don't contribute to our learning, don't contribute to our end goal of building something, learning how to build something. And, maybe we got to sacrifice, some of the things that we love, our hobbies. Again, if you're going to be a hobbyist, you don't have to. Let's face it. If you're going to be a hobbyist, keep doing those activities that don't contribute to the business. Just do it. That's okay. That's okay. Nobody's forcing you to be that $50,000 a year coach or that $100,000 a year coach. But it's unreasonable to think that if you're a $50,000 a year employee right now, a $40,000 a year employee, and you're willing to give 40 hours a week to somebody to make that income, it's unreasonable to think that you're going to be able to give 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week to something to make 50,000 or 100,000. It's just unreasonable. So things gotta prioritize. We gotta get off those cul-de-sac activities that aren't actually contributing to our learning and our growth, and seeing ourselves as, like Mike said, he gave a great example. I can't shovel the horse shit. I just can't. I can delegate the horse shit activities, and I'm going to work on the activities that produce $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $300 an hour. Because when you're making $500,000 a year in this business, you're a $250 an hour employee. If you act like a $100 an hour or $200 an hour employee, you're going to do those activities only that contribute. And you're going to go, okay, what can I delegate? Okay, washing dishes, doing this, doing that. That really doesn't contribute. That's a $7 an hour job or a $5 an hour job I can give my kids, or maybe my husband is so great, he's going to help support me in our family goal, and he's going to do that for this hour, or he's going to, wash clothes versus me, or we're going to hire out that, or I'm going to hire a landscaper, to mow the lawn versus me taking hours on the weekend, whatever it is, but freeing up, 10, 20 hours extra a week. Maybe you got to give up hobbies. Maybe you like model planes or whatever it is, but they're not actually going to contribute to your family's retirement fund. Just building a model plane, whatever. I don't know. I always use the example, and I got a guitar in the corner. I started playing guitar. I was like, oh man, I'm going to play the guitar. I want to learn to play guitar. And I picked that up right when I was doing this business. And then I read the dip, and I was like, holy shit, what the hell am I doing learning how to play the guitar? I can't sing. I'll never be able to sing. I'm never going to be able to make money from this. What a complete waste of time. Why would I learn this? And so I cut out the guitar. I said, and I got 2 guitars sitting there, and I'm like, why did I do this? This is something. You don't start something if you're not going to finish it. When you make the decision to start something and you don't finish it, you've completely wasted your time. That's getting off the cul-de-sac activities. That's making a mature decision. You quit the things that don't add value to your life, and you stay on the things that are a struggle that actually contribute to your life. Do you get that? The dip is about you quit the activities that don't contribute, to your end game, that don't contribute to your happiness and your family's priorities, you quit those activities. You quit spending the extra money on things that don't contribute. You quit spending the extra time on things that don't contribute. And you continue with the things that you struggle with, but are going to contribute to your ultimate goals. That's the dip. It's a struggle, but you're going to get better. And like Mike said, you're going to get more efficient, and you're going to increase your value over time. And you're going to learn that, okay, now I got 3 coaches, I do this. Now I got 10 coaches, I do this. Now I got 20 coaches. Now I got to start talking in conference calls and not individually to coaches, because guess what? My time is spread too thin, and that's a $20 an hour activity talking to one coach, but it's a $300 an activity talking to 30 coaches. Does that make sense? If I can do that all at once, that's how you increase your value. And so the dip is an incredible book and audio to listen to about how to continually increase your value, how to stay with the struggle and know why you're staying with the struggle, what activities to get off of, what cul-de-sac activities to get off of, and which ones to quit and which ones to stick with. Okay, so that's all I want to say. Let's open it up to questions and comments. How's that? But I want to make sure that everybody knows and be comfortable, because our team is made up of everybody. Our team is made up of preferred customers. Our team is made up of retail customers. Our team is made up of discount coaches, which I'll call preferred customers. Okay, I hate the term discount coaches, because you know what? There's no such thing as a discount coach. You're either a coach helping people, or you're not a coach. You're a customer. Okay.
VIP customers.
Yeah. So let's and if you want to be a hobbyist, that's great. You're helping people then at your convenience. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still helping people. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to your upline coach. Don't tell people what they want to hear. Tell people what I think I wrote, we tell ourselves, what we say is what we want, but what we do is what we get. Our activities, right? What we say is what we want, what we do is what we get. And so when people talk to their upline coach and maybe they say they want to make $100,000 or $500,000, and they want to build this incredible business for their family, but then their activities don't align with that goal that they say. So do they really want it? It's okay if you don't. There's no pressure. Everybody makes their choice. Because if everybody did it, there wouldn't be room in Beachbody's compensation plan for 80% of the people making $100,000 or more. It just doesn't work out that way. Our business is built on everybody quitting. That's how they manage to pay the very few people who are willing to go through the dip hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, is because it's built on the fact that most people will quit. But those who stick and continue to struggle are so rare, like a diamond, like platinum. They're so rare, like an NFL football player, that you take ordinary people and they end up being extraordinarily rare because they don't quit, because they know that they have a reason to work, and they end up making $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million out of a $100 shake and a $30 commission. But it's being a master. Here's the wonderful thing. Our business, network marketing, there's no extraordinary skill. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be a surgeon. You don't have to go through school. You don't have to be NFL caliber football player or NBA caliber basketball player. You just have to be a master of the mundane, the daily simple tasks, the grind. That is the grind. If you are a master of the mundane, inviting, personal development, being a product of the product, if you things we can all do, if we're a master of the mundane for a long period of time, you put up with all those hundreds of thousands of no's, you get those hundreds of yeses over that period of time, we can get to that other side into the life we really want. That's it. So anyway, let's if anybody has any comments or whatever, feel free to jump in. I'm getting some feedback from somebody here. So, but I hope that everyone enjoyed that. I hope, you take Mike's advice. If you truly want this for your family, and if you truly want to make a difference, and if you truly want to be at home spending time with them as opposed to going to work, that's where the no excuse comes in, man. There's going to be sacrifice for a few years. Somebody's going to have to do something different. But if that's not what you want, and you just want to make it a hobby, that's great too. That's great too. Do whatever it is you want. Everybody has different goals. But I'm going to tell you, everybody can do it because there's nothing special here. There's nothing extraordinary. There's no extraordinary talents required. Master of the mundane. Okay? I love that. Thanks, Mike. And let's see. What do we want to do next? If you guys, think about yourself again, your goals and where you really want to be. You want to be a preferred customer? Do you want to be a hobby coach and help people at convenience times? Or do you want to be all in and going, I'm going to change my family. I'm going to be one of those few that makes it over to the other side, and I'm going to live an extraordinary life with my family. Extraordinary, because it's the only opportunity I have to live an extraordinary is extraordinary, not average income, right? That's the difference. Having the time freedom, the money freedom to do what we want, when we want, with whom we want. There's a gap between income levels to be able to do that. Not talent, it's time and struggle and a way to get there. We have a way if you want it. So Team Z, I'm loading up my Team Z. And Mike, do you want to add anything else to that?
No, that was awesome. I love that, just the idea of the dip, and I think it's just so true. You just have to keep climbing through the valley, and you get to the other side.
Yep. And focus. Focus is the other point. You got to be so focused on that one thing, and that is building the biz if you want to get there. There's so many things that can take us off track. It's the focus of doing that and saying, constantly reminding yourself, does this contribute to me building this business, or does it not? Is it just a cul-de-sac activity that doesn't add to it? If you truly want to get to the other side. So, and there's a lot of people, and believe me, our team is made up of preferred customers, VIP customers, as Jesse said, and hobbyists. That's our team. Very few people want to do, what Lindsay just accomplished, what Lindsay did, what Tina and I have to get to the extraordinary levels of making it a full-time income.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about, VIP customers and stuff like that, I just think, for me, when I first got into this, I was building tons of VIP customers thinking, I wanted to go for rank and things like that. Obviously, that's a rank thing, if you're going to build your business for money or if you're building it for rank. But, as you get going in this business, you guys are going to find that having VIP customers really only does give you rank. It doesn't help you any. So if you're trying to make some income so you can get out of your job or, just have some extra stuff, I would just add people as customers. And then, as you start to build your business, you can invite people to be a coach. Then you have a business. It's just like Joe says, those are customers. Don't consider those coaches. Don't waste your time. Don't sit there and, waste the opportunity to have more money in your bank account and help your family by making them VIP coaches and or customers where you can just leave them as a customer and make more money off of them if that's what they're going to be. So, I wish somebody would have told me that when I first started, and it just took me a while. I had a lot of VIP coaches and our customers, and if I look at them now, I'd be making so much more money right now off of what I have versus what I don't have. So just keep that in mind, guys, how you guys are building your business. Build it, for the income. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are here to make some income. So, until you get an actual coach, and that's why you should be inviting at least 3 people a day to the business. But make those people customers and leave them as customers. You can give them the VIP treatment as a customer without making them a coach.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's true. You make sure everybody knows that you do lose money if you turn them into a coach and they decide not to put in the work. You're losing money with that. And that's why, things like what Lindsay are running with, having your challengers as customers and then your few people who are really actively involved, those are going to be your coaches who are willing to put in the work. I was talking to Mark and Jessica Klanick yesterday, and there's a coach that, I forget the name of the coach. It was somebody like, Shelly Hobbs is her name. She is only in 2 years. I think she's making tons and tons of bank, but her first few months, she has some training out there, and she described what she did, and she said her first few months, she made, and we talk about 3 invites per day. I mean, come on, I think we're really setting the bar low. If you want to turn this into a business, you got to treat it like a business. 3 people a day takes, up 2 minutes, and it's not fair to think that you can spend 2 minutes a day on a business and turn it into a business, okay? But Shelly Hobbs, her minimum invites was 30 invites per day from the day she started. Now, let me tell you what her results were. 30 invites a day from the day she started. 30 times 30 is 900 people in her first month. You want to know how many Success Club points she had her first month? 6. 3 people out of 900 said yes. 3 people out of 900 said yes. She continued and said, I'm going to keep doing 30 invites a day, 30 invites a day, 30 invites a day. 3 people said yes in the first month. How many coaches would have made it through 100 invites? Nobody does. Hardly anybody does, unfortunately, but we tell everybody, be prepared. Be prepared for the no's. You don't know this business. You're just starting on this dip. You don't even know how to respond to people yet, but just do it. Just do it. 30 people per day, 900 her first month. Second month, 30 people per day, 900 more. 25 Success Club points the second month. How much better is she at 1,800 invites than she is on her 10th invite in only the second month? And we have people that like we hear every day, oh my God, I sent it to 10 people and nobody said yes. I quit. Come on, gang. You haven't even scratched the surface. Third month, 30 people a day, 900 new people, 40 Success Club points. All right. So these people that are building a big business and building it fast, you want to know why? They're simply talking to more people every day and spending more time on it. That's it. There are no secrets. That's it. They learned how to invite as they failed. They learned objection handling. They learned how to do social media posting, but they escalated it faster and faster with the amount of time they put in the business and the sacrifice they made every day by making sure they put in that time. So again, there's no extraordinary talent required. It's extraordinary patience. It's being a master of the mundane. And that's all we do. So, and again, nobody was here for me and Tina to see the sacrifices that we made. Our life was totally different, man, before we started and then when we started. It was like, switches turned. No more of this, no more of that. We didn't notice any money coming in at first, but what we did notice is we were saving like $500 a month from going out to eat because we said we don't have time to go out to eat. We got to work on our business. We're addicted to this. We're addicted to this. We're addicted to helping people. And it got in our blood and we didn't want to quit. And then once we started getting some people, we're like, we got to show them how to do it. We don't want to let them down. We got to show them it works. We got to prove it works. So It's 6:54. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right now. I've talked enough. This is my passion, the dip. I love the dip. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Mike, thank you very much for your no excuse speech. And oops, there's that crying baby.
that wasn't me.
But decide where you want to be and decide how you want to get there and when you're going to get there. When are you willing, and how long are you willing to trudge through that? It all depends on where you want to end up. All right? All right, take care, gang.